Well, I'm Sammy from Nigeria. I'm studying in Jiangnan University, Wuxi, here in China, and my major is biotechnology at master's level.
Okay. Yeah. You have been here throughout all the period of the pandemic, how it started, and it got to a peak, and then it's now slowing down. We see that the curve is flattening. How did how do you feel now, seeing that the situation is really improving? Do you feel like a hero? Do you feel happy? Do you feel vindicated? Do you feel excited that this whole thing is going? How do you feel now?
Well, I feel so excited. It's because it's amazing the way everything is changing here in China. But outside world is still terrible. So that's what I'm much more concerned about it, because my family, my friends are all outside there. I don't know what situation they are in, but over here in China, we feel so good. Like the restriction, we don't even feel like we are restricted anymore. So I feel so excited right now. Yeah.
So you feel like a hero,
Well,
a hero that
not
made
really.
it through, made it through a war.
Actually, this is my first experience of
because
such thing.
because this was actually a war. I don't know how you think of it, but it was actually a war, and a war that we all participated in. This war. It's not like some. Of course, we know the medical practitioners and the doctors fought so hard to keep it the way it is, but we were all at the forefront of the battle, fighting it so hard. You had to keep. There is a part of you had to be armed enough to really get through this. So I don't know if you feel like a hero.
Well, I don't really feel like a hero, but actually it was a war, and China have finally won this, and I hope that outside world will also do the same thing. So
What was there a particular moment, especially during the peak period, that terrified you more? Like you were so terrified, you were so scared. Do you remember a period like that, a time like that?
yeah, like when it was getting much more terrible. At some point, I was even feeling the symptoms of the disease. I was like, what's happening? But I know deep within me, I was just scared. I was so scared. That was why I was
No,
feeling.
tell me more about that. The symptoms,
Well,
that was illusions and your mind, doing the trick on you. Yeah. So you felt like you had it, right?
yeah, I felt like I was having the disease or something, because that day I went out. I went to Ochan because at that time they did not close the gate. So after going there, I came back. I was like, man, I just went outside and Ochan is open. People can still go there. I don't know who I've come in contact with, even though I was using the masks and the rest. But you never can tell. This is virus that you don't see it. Probably it can fly. We don't know at that moment. I was so scared. In fact, I was tempted to use masks in my room while I was inside. I don't feel like up my windows. Hey, anything, I cannot even come close to my window, because I was like, if I open it, this virus can just come inside.
You thought the virus was in the air?
Yeah, I thought the virus was in the air.
Did you think you were going to make it? Did you feel like you were going to make it? Did you think you were going to make it? Especially during the peak period, and it was so terrifying.
Yeah, well, at some point I was so scared, like I said, but later on I summoned courage. I was like, this thing cannot be the end of all things. Like, this is not the end of the world. So if I continue like this, it's not going to help me. And then people from home keep calling me, don't worry, we are praying for you. Don't worry, nothing will happen to you. I was like, yeah, nothing will happen to me. I know nothing will happen to me. But something that got me so much, like, took the fear out of me, was when I sat down meditating. Then I'm a Christian. So I went to the Bible. I went straight to Psalm 91. So something caught my attention, like not from the beginning. When you go to verse 9, 10, 11, 12, it talks about you trusting in God, and then he will not allow any
Harm
plague
to come to
to
you,
come
yeah.
close to your dwellings. I was like, oh my God. And the word of God is true. So why should I be scared? It's sure nothing will come close to me. So from there, I don't know, something just take away the fear from me.
So it was your faith that really did a
Yeah,
good work for you, helping you
yeah,
to cope and go through it.
exactly.
Okay, so that's on the more of a faith and a spiritual side, more of an inner, conjuring power. How did you cope physically? I mean, what did you do? What are some of the things that you were doing at that time to take your mind off of, the effect and the fact that it was coming closer to you, the fact that it was scary, the fact that the news was keep on pounding on us, the death, the numbers that were, kept on increasing and all that. How did you cope? What did you do? Did you watch games? Did you play games? Did you watch videos? What did you do to cope?
Okay, the first thing I did was I stopped checking any information about the coronavirus. Like, I stopped checking the numbers. I don't even care how the numbers are rising, how people are dying, how people are recovering. I stopped checking it because it was affecting my faith. Like, the more I check it, the more I get more scared. So I said, see, I'll stop checking the news about this thing. So I stopped checking it, and then I was okay. Then secondly, I spend much time on the internet, and then I was talking with some friends, communicating on the social media, and then that one too took a lot of my time. And also I started working on a review paper, so I was reading, and I started reading some other books. Basically, I was just trying to engage myself with things that would take away my attention from the pandemic.
Are you a kind of person that really likes to socialize, like be in the midst of friends? How was it for you, seeing that you cannot, be in touch with your friends, sit around and talk or have fun or do anything like that? How did you cope? How was it for you?
Well, it was not easy, but the internet had made things so much easier for us. Even if you cannot go and meet your friends, the feeling is actually different. You can make video calls, you can talk as much as you want because we have free internet here. So it was easier for me. So
Okay, I think you talked about it, but let me still ask you: was there a time that you regret that you were leaving? Like, why am I in this period? What's going on? I regret that I'm leaving. I hate my life. I hate life. Did it ever occur to you like that?
no. I've never regretted leaving.
Nothing of the sort, right?
Yeah, nothing like that.
Okay. What advice would you give to friends and family out there in your country, outside of your country, people out there that are going through it right now? You have gone through it, you've passed it, and you're gradually getting back to the norm, normal. What would you tell any other person that is now going through it and it's finding it difficult to stay away, especially the social distancing and the fact that they cannot, do the normal things that they used to do? What would you tell a person like that?
Okay, first of all, I'll tell them that they should not be scared. They shouldn't be scared because this thing will surely pass, and I'm very sure it's not going to end everyone. And then secondly, they have to be optimistic because their survival depends on it. The more they get scared, the more it affects their immune system. Because I discovered something lately, I read about it, that the more you're scared, it's actually bring down your immune responses. So, and then I had some doctors in an interview saying that most people do recover from sickness because of their like the way they are so
optimism,
because of
optimism
their
and all that,
optimism.
yeah.
So if you are scared, your immune system would definitely be down, and then even when you caught it, it's you that will survive it, not the drugs that they are going to administer to you. Because sometimes you see people with more serious sickness undergoing surgeries, you will see that the doctors will say that this person couldn't have survived it, but because of the way he reacts to it, he was able to go through. So we shouldn't be scared. try and get something that will take away your attention from the information, the news that is going out there, because it's actually scary. It's very scary. So the more you see it, the more you get scared about it. So you should try and take your attention from it. At least find something doing. It will help you a lot.
Something that has been driven home into your heart, your mind, your thought process, something that you feel like humanity needed to know. I don't know, it all depends on you. Like, is there something that you've learned from this whole thing? Not making plans for a disease, it just comes in and it shakes the whole foundation of the whole earth. And it's like some people talk about having something they call existential crisis. Why am I living, and where did this come from? Why human beings struck? Like, what have you learned from this whole thing?
I learned so much from this, because normally the year started early. We all have our goals. We have so many things to achieve within the year. We didn't plan for this, but at the midst of it, it came true. And then I understand that you should get ready for the unplanned things, and then like you should get ready for the worst thing that can happen, because you don't know what the future holds. So even as you're planning for your goals, what you want to achieve, know that there are some things that can hinder it. So you should get ready for it. Not that you are going to be so rigid that no, this thing is not working out the way I wanted it to be. Because if you are so rigid, you're not flexible, man, it's going to hit you. Yeah, it's very big. But then you never can tell. So just be prepared for it. No matter what, you just have to take it when it comes.
Okay, thank you so much.